How does the Haggadah of Pesach, of the Passover Seder, enter into today's Torah portion? We're before Rosh Hashanah. We're not before Pesach. Now, I'll explain to you soon what I'm referring to. But before that, let us say together, chapter 100, to pray to Hashem. We want to see already the ultimate miracle. Mizmor lesoido rila adenu kol haaretz yivdes adenu b'simcha boi lefanu b'nonu duka adenu elihim hu asanu v'lo anach na'amu b'tzem marisoi boi yishor b'soido chatzroisi b'silo hoidenu b'chushim boi ki toi v'adenu elilom chazdo v'yadoi v'doi ramunasoi. Let me blow the shofar and then we will give tzedakah. May we hear the shofar of Mashiach. Let's give some tzedakah. And here is what I'm referring to. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for that. You remember maybe from the Passover Seder, the Haggadah, the recital, we talk about the humble beginnings, etc., etc. In the Torah portion of today, of this week, we are told about the mitzvah of Bikurim, bringing to Jerusalem the first fruit. The farmers are supposed to bring the first fruits, bring it in this beautiful basket, presenting it to the Kohen, and then they recite a whole story. And basically the story is saying the following: I came today to the land that God had promised us. And you will say, you know what? We didn't start with all this comfort. We all didn't start with all this beautiful fruit and riches. We came from very humble beginning. We were in Egypt. We suffered. We prayed to God. We called out to God. God listened to us. And finally, He brought us into this land. And therefore, as a token of appreciation, I'm presenting this fruit over here. And then, says God, now we can celebrate. The Orach Chaim HaKadosh, Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar, says these verses over here, which is actually what we say in the Haggadah of Pesach. Because on Pesach we recount the coming out of Egypt and the present. He says this is not only referring to coming out of Egypt, but it also refers to the state of our life, our soul. And he introduces this with a verse that we say throughout the Slichot. Sephardic community says it already since the beginning of the month of Elul. Ashkenaz community will start this Saturday night. And then we say the following: we're asking for God for forgiveness. V'solachto la'avoini, please forgive my sins. Ki rav hu, because there are many. Is this an excuse? Imagine you're coming to your partner in life, to your spouse, and you say, you know what, forgive me for all my iniquities. Forgive me for all my mistakes. There are so many. Yeah, it makes it only worse. What does it mean with saying to God, v'solachto la'avoini, my sin? Ki rav hu, because there are many. Says the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, says the following: when we say ki rav hu, that he is a lot, we're referring to our evil inclination. And we're telling God, you know what? You have given us a most conniving, a most brilliant Yetzer Hara. And he finds all ways how to influence me throughout life. And in fact, this also refers that we're going to come in front of heavenly court and we're going to be asked, how come you bring such a little basket of fruit? Why do you have so little mitzvahs? Why is it so few? So that's when we're going to read these verses. And we're going to tell God the following: Arami Ovidovi, Arami, the conniving Yetzer Hara, He worked on me. Vayeret Mitzrayim, he schlepped me down. He pulled me down into Egypt. Meaning what? Into the narrowness, into the worldly corruption of what Egypt represents. And first he came in as a visitor. Vayogar Shom b'mseimot. First he came into just as a visitor, occasionally, do this, do that. And then he established himself. Vayisham legoy gadol otzim v'rov. And then he became established as a big, powerful present. Vayitno aleinu avodah kosher. He made life very difficult. So that's what we tell the Eibishter. But you know what? I still did something. I did a little bit. So forgive me. Why? Because to a certain extent, the Yetzer Hara made it difficult. So we ask Eibishter, take away the Yetzer Hara and bring us to the Beis HaMikdash.